What's up, folks? Positive Paul. Here we are on Thursday, January 7th, 2021. And it looks like the dust is settling back there in DC today. Very curious as we go through this process of the ranting and raving. Each of us have our own complaints, our own issues. And, I do understand in this vast world of ours, people are unique, specifically on maybe their upbringing, their life experiences would possibly lead them to have a mindset that may not be easily malleable. Even when presented pretty strong evidence to the contrary of what they believe in, yet they still, they stick to their guns, so we say. So, with that being said, we do understand that we are in the age of deception. And again, it's curious because it seems like there's a hiatus now on all the rapture talk, going over scripture, pointing, out all the things that are taking place on the ground and the physical manifestations that would maybe indicate, we're heading into, another transition. Because, see, I always ask the question, when is the pouring out of the Spirit on all flesh? When have we exhausted that? I'll keep repeating that because it seems like, and again, look, I've been watching this for 5 years now on YouTube, and it seems like that just, hey, just as a phony disinfo agent or a phony TI, whatever, pop goes the weasel with these people out there that are having all these dreams and visions. Now, again, some obscure person can certainly have the Lord be poured upon them, and they'll feel it's their duty to try to somehow make a public statement about what their experience was. So we can't just go out there and willy-nilly discount some of these good folk out there that are sharing these dreams and visions. Because look, the minute you do that, you're going to get ridiculed. You know that the sharks are circling. They're out there. The vultures just ready to pick apart, anyone that maybe dares lift a helping hand. So back to what I was saying last night. What is our function here? What should we be trying to do? Essentially help one another avoid the landmines, avoid these potholes that we can get stuck in as it relates to what we view to be reality. And I still scratch my head. It's like, where do all these people come from that are on social media? And they're heavily promoted. They have, it seems like the average Joe out there is only mesmerized by a presentation with all the bells and whistles. Oh, all the graphics, the nice music and all that. When we know it's a lot of this hocus pocus is how we found ourselves in this situation to begin with. Meaning possibly being mass mind controlled through mass media, through the entertainment, industry, and it just goes on and on. We know all the areas where they're trying to pull the wool over our eyes. So today, before I get off track here as I ramble on, I do always, I want to interject scripture. And I think it's important, and that's how I separate myself from the pack. Like I said, a lot of good folk out there that threw their hat in the old reptilian shapeshifter analysis ring are very far and few. Remember, it's sticky business at best, folks. I've been saying this for a long time. But you're going to figure out who leads and who follows. So, in Deuteronomy, we still, it's like it wasn't enough in Leviticus. It wasn't enough in Numbers. these Israelites constantly need to be reminded that thou shalt fear the Lord thy God and serve him, and shall swear by his name. Ye shall not go after other gods of the gods of the people which are round about you. Now, when we read this and we take and tantamount the whole, not just, trying to piecemeal the scripture we like, and you know how people throw out the little tidbits of scripture and use that to somehow project maybe, their own bad behavior on someone else. But we do know that there's other gods out there. And who is following these other gods? Who truly is a part of this hive mind false reality that's been created for us? Now, if there ever was a separation of the wheat and the tares, I would tend to think that if this truly is the last days, and these sad sack Satanists, these lapdog Luciferians, these dirty dog Draco hybrid reptoid squirrely eyeball goofballs know that yes, their number is about to be punched. Their chips are just about getting ready to be cashed in, and there's not really much there. So they still they want to try to somehow convince you that there is no Lord thy God to fear. That somehow, let's say, just take myself, a 54-year-old satanic ritual abuse survivor, put through trauma-based mind control, original MK Ultra, loaded down with implants, and my so-called country, America, left me high and dry. They tried to set me up. But see, my situation's not unique, only in the sense that I'm the dumbass that survived this. And remember the vague testimony, folks. So let's get back to these other gods. Who's serving these other gods? Well, I'll tell you who, folks. You just stand by. Now, this is one of Uncle Carl's lackeys, just like George Bush, Kissinger, Humphreys, what's his name, Helms, all these jokers. The list is so long. But see, these other gods, all right, they understand that they really do not have much control over the situation. So what they do is they do their little hocus pocus magic show for the dumbed down humans. And guess what? They eat it up, and they'll follow these other gods because they don't fear the Lord thy God. Okay, give me a second. So what we're going to do is, I started off with this, and now my son wants the phone. But guess what, folks? What we're going to do is we're going to wrap this up, and we're going to do, even though it's Thursday, the YouTube Dumbass of the Week. So, here we go. Oh yeah, the reptilian shapeshifter. Paul Lindner, huh? Interesting, folks. Now, a couple people stuck up for me. I don't even know this individual, Cockney Creatives, but he started a comment thread. And, Rich Lowell from Massachusetts, see another fellow human being that backed me up. He jumped in the comment thread. So what happened was, folks, is you get these jokers. In particular, YouTube's Dumbass of the Week is this Christopher Morrissey, okay? Now, look, the best he can do is do the, condescending, rude, dopey comments concerning what? Simply, spelling, anything, take your pick, all right? these dopey YouTube perps, and they're all, you see who's hanging out with who, all right? But this Christopher Morrissey, he thinks he's a real smarty pants, okay? So yes, a few people out there have been backing me up, and God bless you. Thank you for that. But here's what Chris does. See, first he's going to tell Rich, the condescending talk. Jesus, dude, learn at least write like a child. Okay, so then what he does is, there was another comment thread where Rich had spelled something wrong, and we all make misspellings, folks. Look, when you're on the social media trying to interject, hopefully something useful to the good folk out there, you're going to have some errors. So this guy Chris, one of these little YouTube perps out there, for you know who. Look. Why did you remove your comment, Paul, where you said learn to spell, then removed it? What kind of spelling are you referring to that I should learn? So what I did is I noticed that the comment wasn't directed to a certain individual. And of course, hey, I'm not afraid. I can be wrong. I'll admit when I'm wrong, actually. Unlike these hybrids that have something to hide, can't show their face. These nameless, faceless nobodies on social media. See, I write, I'm allowed to be wrong, smartass. Remember, if you're a hybrid perp, you have no salvation. Show your face there, buddy boy. Which they can't do. You know that, folks. All right? So, of course, look who shows up. Mr. Row your boat down gently down the stream, Kevin Canoe. So, yeah, he finally responds, okay, to some of my concerns. Ooh, many lizards pose as Christians like Jonathan Kleck and Richard Bruce, who, look, just go back and watch my videos. Remember, I lead, these jokers follow. So Morrissey writes, oh, you are always wrong. Leave my ass out of it. Okay? And he says, and by the way, it's if you're a hybrid, not if you're a hybrid. Learn to spell, LOL, idiot. So what do I write? Again, misspelling is not sin, but being a reptoid is. In fact, it's an abomination and soon to be rid of. Do you spend your time online attacking people? So here, what I did, folks, is see Chris is he wants to be controversial, I assume. He wants to try to actually act like he knows something and like he's got a brain, when actually he's a monkey see, monkey do, like they all are, folks. So what happens is, it took me a mere couple minutes to find this joker and all his misspelling errors, folks. So YouTube's dumbass of the week is Christopher Morrissey. You can find him on Divine Truth's channel, eNow, Demon Hunter. You know, this big, huge cadre perp army of disinfo agents that pretend to be something they're not. And there's a longer list than that, folks. Remember, I'm not done yet. So Chris, he has bad habits like this guy Cody, Heavy T. He writes these long-winded comments, and see, he doesn't know how to spell either, folks. So what does he do? Every part of my property is growing garden area, inside as well, blah, 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 blah. I keep telling my family that it must be God telling me to do this because I don't know where it came from. It's not as hard as one may think. Hey, Chris, get your act together, folks. Learn how to spell, all right? So, look, we'll go over a couple of them. Remember, folks, we'll save some for a future date. Oh, I don't own a cell phone, but I still have a landline in my home. My mother is the same way, yet she has an old flip phone in her car, only 'cause I made her, blah, blah, blah. See, Chris, when you go to school and you take an English course in grammar, you weren't paying attention, were you? So what's important here, folks? That you fear the Lord thy God, or you follow one of these other gods. It looks like this Mr. Morrissey, he's confused young individual. And I get a strange feeling he's not even a human. He's living on some island somewhere. Oh yeah, you should see what this guy writes. Well, Chris, you are YouTube's dumbass of the week. And don't worry, folks. You know, you can all have at me, try to pick me apart piece by piece, but when I'm gone, you're all next.